Hey, this is Sam Leonard. Now, in today's video, what I'm going to be talking about is how we can deal with problems or stress or perceived challenges within our life. And one of the simple ways to do this is by looking at our thinking differently. Because we have to remember that we are not our thoughts. We have to try and detach from our mind and observe it. This gives us an ability to observe our thoughts, to see what is going on. Because ultimately, our stresses, our challenges, things that happen in our life is really our perception of that. So in order to change the external, we need to change the internal, change our perception of that. And the only way we can do that is by changing our thinking. Because let's face it, we can't solve challenges and problems at the same level of thinking that created them. So we have to up-level our thinking. And in a way to do that, we have to detach from it. We have to detach from our mind and look at our mind from an observational point of view. Come into a place of self-inquiry by looking at it, and if something triggers you, take a step back, observe it before you react, and just observe it and think, okay, I seem to be triggered by that, I seem to be angry, that's making me stress, and just observe those thoughts. Don't forget, a lot of the thoughts that we have, they're habitual, they're automated, they come from past conditioning. And if we want to change what's going on in our mind, the thoughts in there, then we have to question them. Questions are the steering wheel of the mind. Question our thoughts, question our beliefs, our judgments, where they're coming from. This is how we up level. This is how we grow, we mature, we raise our level of consciousness, we raise our level of understanding of a situation, of other people as well. So we need to question the thoughts that are happening in our mind. Have a look at it from an observational point of view, and then having these questions, this level of self-inquiry gets us to a stage of really observing it. And this is where change happens. You know, that the inner world creates our outer world. If we want to change our outer world, we have to change our inner world, and that comes from having this level of self-inquiry, of questioning our thoughts, and having this detached observation of our mind. And this is how we change our perceptions, and like I say, our inner world. With the outer world, yes, I understand we are in a physical universe, that we have to interact with it physically, and we might be a bit stressed and overwhelmed with the things that are happening in the external world. But really, firstly, that comes from our inner world, like I've explained, our perception of that. You know, some people, they find challenges and drama in everything, you know, and what's different from that challenge and their perception of that challenge to someone else who doesn't see it as a challenge? It's their inner world, it's their perception of that. So the inner world is the first thing to change. You know, if there are things that are going on in your external world that are causing you stress, that are causing you overwhelm, then there's things you can do. You know, if you're in business, for example, and you have too much to do, can you outsource it? Can you delegate it? Can you do less? Most of the time we're doing things, or we're acting in a way that it is not preferential to us. We have to be honest. Again, we have to have a level of self-inquiry. Are we really utilizing our time in the right way? Are we really doing the things that we need to do? Is that the most important thing to move the needle, to get things done? Are we procrastinating? Are we procrastinating, not being good with our time, and then complaining later on that we haven't got enough time to do everything? You know, this is a level of self-inquiry, a level of honesty that we really need to have with ourselves to improve the quality of our lives, to increase our understanding, to increase our level of consciousness, our level of awareness of things, of people, of events, of ourselves. This is how we improve the quality of our life, because we're constantly having this level of self-inquiry by questioning things, questioning our perception of things. And this is the only way that we can really up-level and not get stressed by things, not get overwhelmed, not find problems in everything, by increasing our awareness of the inner world. And in doing that, that increases the quality of our life. This, inner world creates our outer world. So nothing is really going to change until we change ourselves, until we start to observe ourselves. Why are we doing things? Our behaviors, our thoughts, our beliefs. And this level of self-inquiry is really what we need to have to think differently. If you're stressed, if you're overwhelmed, if you're challenged, if you're seeing problems in things, think differently. Observe yourself, observe your thoughts, observe your emotional reactions. Are you reacting in a way that is not beneficial to how you want to be? Is it an automation? Is it something you're doing and then later on you think, well, actually, I didn't need to react like that? This comes from a level of being present, of observing ourselves in the moment. And this is how we stop reacting. This is how we stop getting overwhelmed by things, because we've detached from that. We've detached from our mind and we're looking at it from a place of observation. And this really gives us the time to start to be different, start to act differently, start to be in a way that is more favorable to us in our growth and in increasing the quality of our life by understanding things, understanding ourselves and other people and situations around us. And this way we can really come to a different level of compassion as well, because people who find problems and dramas in everything, they get triggered very easily by other people. And a lot of the time when we react and we're too emotionally attached to a situation and we react, often it turns out to, we don't have all the information, don't have all the facts. It's not the best way to be. The people who are who are more they sit back, they observe. It doesn't mean you don't speak up, but you're doing it from a place of choice, from having control over the thoughts, not just being emotive, not just reacting from some habitual conditioning that you've had from the past. This is an opportunity to change who we are in a way of how we react, because we are observant of our thoughts. We are detached from our mind, and we can create a life that we desire, the quality of life that we want, starting with improving the inner world, and that in itself will improve the outer world. So hope you like these little tips here, and leave some comments down below if you got any, and I look forward to seeing you in one of my next videos.